Hey folks, quick video from Daddy Rabbit. So we'll talk to you a minute. So I dodged a big old bullet, like a lot of you. Our 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 president, or my president, is back in office. And the reason I say I dodged a big old bullet, I'll be honest. My preps are not where they should be. They're not. Uh, I meant to get some training that I didn't get. I meant to get some medical training that I did not get. Uh, Several things that I meant to get done, I didn't get done. Now, a lot of that has to do with economics and money and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't get it done. Everybody's thinking, man, I got 4 more years. Maybe. If our boy stays in the house and nobody shoots at him anymore. Because eventually they're going to get lucky. From what I understand, and I haven't done enough reading on it yet, but our guy might get to run twice. And there's some discrepancy on that. Everybody says, well, you can only run 2 times. Well, he's already ran once. But there's some kind of loophole I was reading about. He might get to run again, but by the same token, I think he'll be 85. What's up, Western Prepper? That's beside the point. Listen, it's easy for a guy anyway. We go out and drop $1,000 on a rifle. You can do it, no big deal. They won't spend $1,000 on training. They won't spend $1,000 on communications. They will not spend $1,000 on first aid training. They will not. There's a lot of stuff. They say, oh, that's a lot of money. Well, a rifle's a lot of money. I'm going to tell you something. The shooting range where I live, it's marksman. And the dude's a retired Green Beret. And he's a retired sniper instructor. And I kept saying, I'm going to get over there. I'm going to get some training. I am. I'm going to go by and let Darren train me. I'm going. I never did. Walked in there tonight and said, hey, I need to go ahead and be a member, and I need to get some training done for me. Okay, I'm an army of one. And I'm looking at taking a job out of state, and just a lot of stuff going on for me. But I like this kind of stuff anyway. I've been pricing out thermal and night vision and a new set of body armor. This time around, I'll be ready for whatever. I hate to say this. I am 57 years old. Granted, I know I don't look my age, but I am 57. I'll be 58 in a couple months. It's time to quit putting off stuff. We all do it. Oh, there's a lot of big ticket items, and people, well, I'm going to get it, but 60 years old. Congratulations. In the next 2 years, I've got goals that I will hit. I'm going to buy me another piece of land. I'm going to contact Masterbuilt in Crossville, Tennessee, and have them build me a tiny home. I am going to get the training that I know I need. I'm looking at taking a security gig in the Carolinas, part of the hurricane stuff. There's some medical training I want. And the only person I can count on is me. I know a lot of you are married, my spouse, and all. And I've said before, it's easier to get a new spouse. You only live once, you can die, blah, 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 blah. A lot of that falls on deaf ears, and I know it. But I have come close in the last 6 or 7 years. Legitimately, I've almost died 5 or 6 times. Health reasons, And I got thinking about it. Even if I was to start seeing somebody and all that, I'm not going to die for somebody else that is lazy. Our ideals don't line up. I'm just not doing it. And I've got buddies and stuff, their spouse may not be in shape, or they're half-hearted, or I'm not going to die for somebody that's not 100% on board. But I've got training that I want to take. I want to take some counter sniper stuff, and I need to learn how to run a real ghillie suit. I'm not talking about hunting deer. I've been talking to some people in the medical profession to try to find the best medical class for me. Like I said, I sent my resume to a security outfit that is looking for people like me to go to the Carolinas, and they're wanting a 2-year contract. So that kind of lines up with what I want to do. Good money, and they're going to pay room and board. So no money out of my pocket. I just have to show up. And we'll see how it turns out. If they're legit and it's all, then I'm going to do it. If it's not legit, then oh well. But there's a couple of rifles I want. And I've sold off my ARs. I sold off a lot of stuff. Money got tight and I liquidated. There's a couple bolt guns I want, bolt action. And I've picked me up another Glock, and I'm going to buy me a 1911. And I want a Staccato, but that's a lot of money for jewelry. But there's a couple things I want. And at virtually 58 years old, buying property and building a house or doing whatever, that's a lot of money. And I'm not big on financing, so we're talking about buying it outright. And if I live that long, I intend on enjoying the rest of my life. But that being said, you can't enjoy your life. You cannot do certain things unless you're willing to sacrifice right up front. You got to take it in the tail to get what you want on the backside. And I've got back into the security industry, and so far I've enjoyed it. Oopsie. Let me start my car. There we go. And I've enjoyed it. I'm just an Indian, and I think after you've owned a business or two, being an Indian is cool. Well, I think we all have tests in life that you either pass or fail. Sometimes you don't have a choice. But I mean, I'd like to retire today and just do shit I like to do, but that's not possible. And so I'm looking at how quickly can I get to my destination. I don't know if I did it or not. I did what I had to do. Uh, but I mean, hell, I still got ailments. There's stuff wrong with me. I know it. I'm still overweight. I need to shed about 40 pounds again. I had shed it and I put it right back on. But all that to the side, I think with the Donald back in office, we might have. I'm counting on 2 good years if he makes it that long. If somebody doesn't assassinate him. But the way I look at things is I've had a good life, and that's just how I look at it. I've had a good life. I've come close to dying enough to know, like I knew a guy that had cancer, and oh, poor pitiful me, and he laid down, he quit paying his bills, he just turned out to be a piece of shit, excuse my French. And I've had blood clots 3 times, and then a couple other issues that should have killed me outright. But it didn't. I'm very fortunate. I could, pull out of a parking lot and get hit by the space shuttle and be gone. But life's what you make it. And so I say to you, to all of you that see this, playtime's definitely over with. And I get it. I think in a way, with me, it's black or white. There's no gray. Gray's for pussies. And what are you willing to do? How far are you willing to go? People say, well, what do you mean? Well, then you need to go ask somebody else, because I'm not going to tell you. I already know how far I'm willing to go, and I know what I'm willing to do. But I've already made peace with God, and I've lived a good life. If I get the opportunity to grow old and, be a burden on somebody else, well, good for me. If that's not the case, then it'll just be what it is. But you look around in Ukraine and Russia and all these places, people are throwing down. They're not playing. People in this country are so soft. And everybody waits on their defining moment. You can, if you're waiting on a defining moment, you'll be a lobster in a pot, and or they keep turning up the heat, and it'll just be too late. Now, I'm saying all this, and I got to say this for legal reasons. I do not condone violence. I am not trying to incite violence. I am not. But you, out in YouTube land, have got to make up your minds. What am I willing to do? How far am I willing to go? If you're not willing to go all the way, stay on the porch with the kids, But that's just my opinion. And you can interpret that however you want. Because like I say, I'm not trying to incite violence. I am not. But I do know, I feel like God has blessed us one more time. And there's some training that I need that I'm going to get. And I'm cheap just like everybody else. And for me to go see, like his nickname's Brick, but Darren Brickman, that owns Marksman in Crossville, for me to go to him and say, hey, I need some of that high dollar training, and it's high dollar. Well, to me it is. When you go hand somebody $500 and they take you somewhere and try to teach something. And most of his classes are $500, but his classes are worth a couple grand. But he's the real deal. He's a former Ranger and a Green Beret and sniper instructor. There's not many people that's got all those credentials rolled up into one. And he's a good old boy. And when it gets a little bit colder, because I hate the heat, when it gets a little bit colder, I'll be out on his outdoor range and being schooled. There's a lot of stuff I know that I don't necessarily I haven't been to schools. I've known people that have, that are whatever, they've taught me stuff. And I'm very thankful. But like I'm not even good at shooting distance. What I did, you just do because you don't have a choice. That's how you do that. There's not, where I live, there's not 1,000-yard shot. It does not exist. Unless you're shooting mountaintop to mountaintop or you're laying on the interstate. There's not 1,000-yard shot where I live. And there's not many 600-yard shots. Sorry, there's not. In other parts of the country there is, but not where I am. You're lucky if you got 300 yards. But, let's see. So, my next paycheck, I'm joining the gym. And I'm working third shift. So, I will be, one of them early risers. I'll get off work, go straight to the gym. But when I was younger, I was one of those cats. I was a gym rat. I was one of those guys that stand in front of the mirror and flex. What I couldn't understand, get all pumped up. By the time I drive home, that pump would be gone. It used to drive me insane. I enjoy it. It makes me high. I don't think I'm a prick, but I do. I like to stand and look at myself, and I need to work on this muscle. I need to work on that muscle. The big thing is I need to get rid of this gut. I've been blessed with good skin and no wrinkles, and I still look like I'm probably in my late 30s in the face, but my body, I'm a fat old man, and I want to be pretty. So I'm not going to run. I promise you, I'm not going to run. So that means I have to go to the gym and get on the elliptic, and I want to lift and get big again. And when you're single, you can do all those things. You ain't got a woman bitching in your ear. You have to go today. Do you have to go right now? You blah 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 blah. Oh hell no. So I'll be 58. So what I'm figuring on is I got a 7-year plan in my head, and I'm thinking by the time I'm 65, I'll just be what I am. There's only so much you can do after you get so old, if I live that long. And that's a big if, I could have a heart attack or a stroke, or like I say, get hit by a dinosaur. But I'm just getting on here to tell y'all, we dodged a bullet, because if that ding-a-ling would have got into office, oh dear God, the concentration camps would have filled up overnight. So now you have to decide, am I willing to fight? If you're willing to fight, what are you willing to do and how far are you willing to go? And you have to make up your mind. And you can't let other people influence that. You can't. Or you'll end up sitting in the house, not fulfilling your destiny. That being said, like I say, I don't condone violence. I'm not trying to incite violence. I don't want to get sued or hemmed up. But I got a plan in my head, and I'm going to be the best me I can be. And, you know, and it'll just be what it is. Round is not a good shape. I used to say round's a good shape, but it's really not. And listen, I'm a whole lot smaller than I used to be. Hell, I was almost 310. But when I put my duty gear on, I think when I put my duty gear on, I weigh about 265. And with my duty gear on, I need to weigh about 225. So I still need to lose 40 pounds. Good part is we're going into winter, and winter it's easier to lose weight. And I'm a little short of breath. I need to find out what that is. But like I live up in the country, so I'm gonna have to go to the big city, go see a big city doctor and find out what's going on with me. I don't like the small town hospital. I don't cotton to that. But boys and girls, you better decide what you want to do. And if you don't, then I just feel like you want to be on the cattle cars with the rest of the sheep. But it's easy to be lazy. It is. God, it's easy. I'm the kind of person, once I make up my mind I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. It might take me forever to make up my mind, but I'm going to do it. So, to the gym I go, to the rifle range I go, medical classes, comms, I'm going to get into comms. I hope our paths can cross again. Where did our paths cross last time? And then I'll know I'll know who you are. Because I'm horrible at names, but where did our paths cross? Because I know who I think you are, but I'm not going to say until I know. Oh, Sydney. Why did you change your name? Well, you are in the West. But, and you should buy my dinner. I'll have a nice salad, thank you. Yeah, I go through that. But usually, I just reinvent myself. It's not the screen name. Yeah, I hadn't seen you in a hot minute. But like I say, I'm gonna drop 40 pounds and get rid of the dad bod. I'm walking about 3 miles a night, I'll say. Yeah, probably about 3 miles a night. And I don't dilly. Appreciate that, Sid. My knees won't take it like, when you walk on concrete, it tears you up. And I prefer to be out in the woods and all that, but when I start taking blood thinner, I'm more weary of snakes and stuff. But I'm, like I say, I'm gonna get me a good ghillie suit and a lot of stuff I need to work on. I haven't shot in years, and I mean that. I don't shoot anymore. It does not excite me. I could care less. But shooting is a perishable skill. I can tell you what I shot when I qualified. but you're standing in the lane. You're not really putting out anything. But I shot 99%. I should have shot 100, but I left a round out of my gun. But yeah, trigger control, breathing, and all that, blah, blah, blah. Like I say, I'm back in the security field somewhat. I've enjoyed it. I didn't think I'd ever do that again. And I mean that. When I closed my company, I gave away probably $2,000 worth of gear. I never intended on doing it again. Well, I'm glad I did. I don't know what I taught you, but I'm glad I could help you in any shape, form, or fashion. But I've let myself go. I've let my skills go. But I'm not ready to lay down yet. So, to be a good warrior, you always have to train. You have to train in things you're not good at. And, like comms, man, I suck at comms. But I go to Partisan Comms Group. That's a guy here on YouTube. I've become pretty good friends with. He's helped me out quite a bit with comms. And actually, last year for my birthday, he got me this nifty radio. And I keep it with me everywhere I go. And because I'm very appreciative of the gift, and I keep it with me. And it's got GMRS and FRS, and it's got ham radio, and I can talk to who I need to talk to or listen to who I need to listen to. Well, it'd be my birthday. Let's see. November, December, January. Last of January would be my birthday. I like I say, I got into hard times. I sold my ARs. I sold all my ammo, all my mags. I sold my Glock, all my Glock mags. And now I bought another Glock, and I'm coming back up. I got a shotgun and a 22, and instead of doing the AR-15, I'm gonna buy me a 308 bolt. My intent is to build an AR-10, but I'm going to build what they call a truck gun, a shorty, for up close and personal in 308. And I'm a big firm believer, blow a big old hole in them and leave them right where you put it on them. A 308 will put a big hole in you. So shot placement's not that important if you're blowing big holes in stuff, But I'm getting off track. Sydney, is your phone number still the same? If it is, I'll give you a call. But anyway, folks, I feel like I dodged a bullet. I feel like we all dodged a bullet. But I don't. I'll be honest. I'll call you. I personally, when I say this, I say I love y'all all the time. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you're too lazy to train and buy good gear, I do not care what the outcome of your life is. I could care less. If you don't care, I don't care. I'm not going to say, oh, poor pitiful Bob. I've been telling him if he just got some training. I don't care, dude. Bob, if you don't train and you don't run I don't care. That's between you and God. It got nothing to do with me. Just like me. If I don't train, I don't take care of my body, I don't take care of my skills, and I perish, that's on me. Ain't no poor pitiful rabbit, dumbass. I should have manned up. I should have dropped the coin. So instead of going out and dropping, this time around $3,000-$4,000 on rifles, all right. instead of dropping, I'm going to drop 2 G's and put 3 G's in the training. And, you know, and I'm going to get the best training I can get. I'm probably not going to buy thermal. I will be buying night vision. Night vision is obtainable. Thermal, I'd have to do the payment, you know, a 30-year payment plan. I'm not doing it. But anyway, I just want to get on here and share what was going on with me. And if it pertains to you, get off the pot. Get it done. I feel like God gave us a little bit of a reprieve, and, you know, it's a wake-up call. Because those evil people are not going to stop. And if you're not willing to fight for it, you don't deserve it. That's the bottom line. But anyway, I just want to get on here, tell you what's going on in my mind, tell you what was going on in my life, and tell you, you know, I'm just like you all. I mean, hell, I get to where I don't want to do nothing. I promise. I get lazy. I'd rather lay around and eat Doritos, you know what I'm saying? But at some point at our age, ain't nobody gonna help us but us. If you ain't willing to help yourself, oh well. You know, I have no pity for you. I used to have to, you know, I drank a lot of water because I had to. I drink a lot of water now because my body needs it. I drink, you know, I try to eat vegetables. I hate them. You know, I'm a meat potatoes guy, but I eat stuff that I know is good for me. I'm taking my vitamins, walking, you know, back on the range, shooting a little bit, honing my skills, you know, carrying my weapon. Stopped today and picked up a Glock mag because I needed it. You know, I sold every Glock mag I had. You got to understand, I had 24 Glock mags. I sold them all. Sold 1,500 rounds of hollow point. I mean, you know, money got tight. I had to come off that stuff finally. And now money's coming back in. I got to try and buy it. It, you know, when I bought it, it was one thing. And now when you're buying it, it's something else, you know. And there's a fat kid staring hard. Sorry. But, yeah, man, back on the range, instead of standing in a lane, you know, and it's more dangerous, but shooting, move and shoot, you know. You know, we buy a bunch of stuff, you end up hoarding it. Give it to somebody that can use it, that maybe can't afford that right now. Because you can't carry, you know, we hoard shit. God, I had 2 or 3 sets of gear. And, well, now, a friend of mine I've known since I was 7. So I've got a 511 bag I've shown on here. I've got 2 511 bags, actually. EDC bags. And he had a birthday a couple months ago, and I was in the place where I couldn't afford to do anything for him. And I went to Knoxville last night, and I took him to dinner, and I gave him a 511 bag. They're not cheap. And I told him, I said, now the bag I'm giving you, and I told him, I said, it's not a cheap bag. I said, you want to look it up, you can. I said, but it, you know, it costs the bill. And I said, you need to start carrying your 19 with you, you know, because he doesn't. You know, what am I going to do with 2 511 bags? You know, what am I going to do with 3 sets of body armor? What am I, you know, at some point, really? And I would much rather arm somebody that I trust than hoard that shit up. You know? Be different if I had 3 homes and I had gear in each home. I have 1 home. Yeah, man. I'm in the country. There's a truck going down the road right now. with a "Don't Tread on Me" flag flying. God, I love it. But folks, I'm not saying get rid of all your shit, but slim down and arm up somebody you care about that'll get you back and help yourself. Sydney, I'm gonna call you in just a minute. Your same area code as me, I'm pretty sure. If I don't have the correct number, let's see, 415. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to jump off from here. Leave that up here just 1 second. What the hell? Hold on, man. I got to write that down. That don't make sense. You got a jacked up area code. Come on, man. Used to keep a dope pad in here, but I don't anymore. Let's write it on this. I'm gonna assume that's 415. 15, delete that. Let's see, remove. There we go. Got it. I did it. All right, folks. More videos coming soon. God willing, and the creek don't rise. That is my 2 cents. Please remember, your glass is always half full and never half empty. You keep praying for me, and I'll keep praying for you. I love y'all. Be good. See you soon.